Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn about how to construct a DFA of string A and B having length of at most 2, which means we have to accept a string which has the length of 0, 1, 2, and we have to reject all these strings which have the length more than 2. Okay, which means here we have to accept a string which has the length 0, 1, 2. This should get accepted and greater than 2 should get rejected. Why? Because in the problem we have at most 2. We can have 0, 1 or length 2, not more than 2. So now what are all the alphabets? The alphabets are represented with this symbol, right? Sigma. So the alphabets are A and B. And then languages. So in languages part we have to take 0, which means empty string, or we can have one symbol. One symbol means it can have A, or another one symbol will be and 2, which means combination of AA, AB and then BA and BB. Apart from that there is nothing, which means finite number of languages we have. We have taken alphabets and languages. Now what we have to take? We have to select states, right? So the states can be Q0. Why? Q0 is a state which is a start state, and then this state, or we are in this state when we read no symbol, right? No symbol read. So then we have Q1 state. This is a state which is going to read one symbol, which means we are in Q0. We will be moving to Q1 when we read one symbol. So after reading one symbol, right? After reading one symbol. Now we have Q2. Q2 is a state after reading two symbol, which means Q0 on one symbol moving to Q1. Q1 on one symbol moving to Q2, which means Q2 is a state we will get after reading two symbol. Okay. Now in our problem we have at most 2, which means we have to accept 0, 1 and 2. So Q0 is a state which has no symbol read, which means this one, or we can say this one. So this one also should be the accepting state, and Q1 should also be the accepting state for these two, and Q2 should be the accepting state for all these things. Done. Now we have to reject greater than 2, right? So we have to take one more state. Let's say it as a QD, which means a dead state for more than 2. This one should get rejected. So these are all our states. Now let us write the transition diagram. Okay, now let us write the transition diagram. So what are all the states? Q0, Q1, Q2, QD, right? So Q0 is a state which is a starting state, and Q1 will be the next state, and Q2 after reading two symbols, and QD will be a dead state. Now Q0 on A or B. What to do? If Q0 get input symbol A or input symbol B, it is moving to Q1. Why? Because we have no restriction that starting symbol should be A or B. We can have starting symbol as A, or we can have starting symbol as B. So Q0 on A or B moving to Q1. Q1 on again A or B moving to Q2, because we have no restriction on second symbol also. So let's take, I got A on Q0, so Q0 on A moving to Q1, and I have B here, so Q1 on B moving to Q2. or if I have B at the first, Q0 on B moving to Q1 and Q1 on A moving to Q2, which means there is no specific input symbol that should be first or last. We can have any input symbol. So now Q2 on A or B moving to QD. So now this is a state which is going to be the state which doesn't read any symbol, right? So this is also a accepting state. Why? To accept this one. Now if I have symbol 1, that one also should get accepted. So Q1 also be an accepting state. Now Q2 is a state which is going to accept all these things. So Q2 also be an accepting state. Only if I have the symbols here, then only this one should get rejected. So if I can have any number of terms, right? So it can self loop in that state. So this is how we write transition diagram. Now let us take some of the examples and examine our transition diagram and check whether our transition diagram is correct or not. To check it, all these examples should get accepted. More than this, the string should get rejected. Okay. So now let us trace our transition diagram. So to trace our transition diagram, let's first take the example of A. So Q0 on A moving to Q1. So this is accepting state. So this is getting accepted. Now Q0 on B. This example. Q0, this is for A, and Q0 on B moving to Q1. This one is also getting accepted. So these two are done. Now Q0 on A moving to Q1. And again we have one more A. So Q1 on A moving to Q2. So this is also accepting state. So string is getting accepted. Now I will try it for BB. Okay. So Q0 on B moving to Q1 and Q1 on B again moving to Q2. So this is also accepting state. So this one will also get accepted. Now all these things should get rejected, right? So let's check for that. So Q0 on A moving to Q1. That's good. And Q1 again on A moving to Q2. This is also accepting state. But we have one more thing, that is A. So Q2 on A moving to dead state. So this string will get rejected. Okay. Now let's check it for AAB. So for AAB, Q0 on A. Q0 on A. Q0 on A moving to Q1 and Q1 again on A moving to Q2. Q2 on B moving to dead state. So this one is also getting rejected. Now BA, BA, BB. So Q0 on B moving to Q1. Q1 on A moving to Q2. Q2 on B. Oh, more than two symbols. So I move to dead state. So on B moving to dead state. Now if I have any number of terms, I should self loop in that dead state only. So QD on A, it will be there in QD only. QD on B will be there in QD only. QD again on B will be there in QD only. So this one is also getting rejected. So our transition diagram is proper because all our conditions are satisfied with the help of the transition diagram. So now let us write the transition table. So to write the transition table, what we have to do? We have to write states, correct? Q0, Q1, Q2 and QD, and what are our input symbols? A and B. After writing this, what we have to do? We have to check Q0 on A. Where it is moving? It is moving to Q1. So we have to write that one here. And Q0 on B also moving to Q1. So write it here. And Q1 on A moving to Q2. And Q1 on B also moving to Q2. And Q2 on A moving to QD, which is a dead state, and Q2 on B also moving to QD, and QD on A and B, it will be remain in that state only, that is QD. So that's our transition table. Okay. Now let's recap. So at first we have chosen a problem of length at most 2. So we have selected the languages only these things. So and now then we wrote the transition diagram and transition table. In the transition diagram we accepted only these languages and rejected the string which has more than 2. So this, and then we wrote the transition table. If this explanation helped you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe the channel and share with your friends who are learning finite automata. Thank you.